Hello fellow cinephiles, Film Guru here. Today I'm reviewing Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. This is a new animated film that was directed by Peter Ramsey and Bob Persichetti and stars a slew of known actors such as Shamik Moore, Nicolas Cage, Jake Johnson, Haley Steinfeld, Lily Tomlin, Mahershala Ali and Zoe Kravitz. It really looks at Miles Morales. He becomes the new Spider-Man after being bitten by a spider in this reality, and he comes in contact with counterparts from different dimensions in order to stop a threat that will affect all of their realities. And it's really up to Miles to try and become the hero he wants to be and he thinks he can be. And it's really about these people banding together. And it looks at a variety of different dimensions. It looks at Nicolas Cage's character as noir Spider-Man, so it looks at his sort of dimension. It looks at Peter Porker, which is a pig sort of Spider-Man. It looks at Gwen Stacy and her being the Spider-Woman of her world rather than Spider-Man, which I really liked. And there's a whole slew of other people, and it's really just about them trying to band together in order to particular things from happening to destroy all their realities. They all come into one reality and have to band together. It has classic villains in it, such as Kingpin and also Doc Ock, but it's sort of, I guess, his daughter, and other classic villains. It's very well done, it's very interesting, and we really get to know more about him as we go along in the film. It encompasses all of the Spider-Man things, it makes fun of things, and is very self-aware, which I really liked about it. I liked the animation. It was a little different and hard going to begin with because it was a bit different to the other animation that I've seen. And a lot of images pop up real quick and it's hard for your brain to comprehend what's actually transpiring as you're watching it. I liked all the characters except Peter Porker. I wasn't a big fan of that character. I know he was there in order to be fun for the kids, but I just didn't particularly like his particular storyline. I did like the fact that he was bitten by a radioactive pig and not a spider. I kind of liked that. I thought that was very clever. Nicolas Cage is fantastic as noir Spider-Man. I really like that character and I'd love to see a spin-off film. They're talking about doing other movies. One I'd really love to see. There's got Peter B. Parker, who's like an old version who's given up on life pretty much and isn't the hero he used to be, and he's much older than the rest of them. He sort of has an interesting arc and great character development through the film as well. My favourite character was the Gwen Stacy Spider-Woman. I really want to see a movie based upon her. I haven't seen Gwen Stacy used in this way before, and I really love to see a film just completely of her because I think she's a really interesting character and they captured her quite well, and she's voiced by Haley Steinfeld, and I really like that, and I think she does a really great job, and it's a character I really want to see a lot more of. They're talking about sequels and spin-offs to this film, and I really like to see that as well. It was an engaging movie, it was fun, it was just pure entertainment in a lot of ways. It was a bit of heart and a bit of depth to it, and particular characters that went along, and I just had a great fun watching it. I enjoyed it much more than I expected I would, and it wasn't a film I was really going to see to begin with. Being convinced, I went along and I did enjoy myself, and I think there is a lot for kids to get out of it as well. There are some criticisms and things I didn't quite love about it. One in particular was, even though we're looking at Miles, a different interpretation of Spider-Man, it was sort of the same sort of origin story thing we've seen before. Gets bitten by a spider, has to work out what happened, has to learn how to use his abilities and become a hero, like we've seen many times in Spider-Man movies. And I just felt we could have done something a little different with that. Yes, we do have different things going on. There's a variety of other Spider-Mans there which I haven't done before in different dimensions, and I kind of like that, and I thought that was different. But the main core and the main story was about Miles, and I just felt it was very similar to everything we've seen before. But it is hard, I guess, to do a Spider-Man film without doing a bit of origin story. They do a clever thing where we get to see a quick origin story of each of the Spider-Mans and the universes they come from, and it's quite quick the way they do it, quite smart and fun, and I liked what they did there, and each one of them gets their opportunity to explain who they are and where they're from, and I kind of liked that. I just felt the Miles story had been done plenty of times, the Spider-Man arc, and it could have done something a little different with it. Like I said, I wasn't a big fan of the Peter Porker character. I knew he was there in order to be humour for the kids, but I just didn't quite enjoy his performance or his character that much. And the other criticism I have is the animation was interesting. It did take, like I said, take a while for me to adjust to, because it is very different, a little hard on the eyes. And there are sequences where a lot is happening at once. Bubbles are popping up with dialogue and a lot of things are happening that I found it very hard, difficult to keep up with. It took all my brain power I needed to keep up with these scenes. But besides that, I did enjoy myself. It was fun and entertaining, and it had some interesting concepts and ideas in it. And they finally made Aunt May really awesome. She has some great scenes within it. She's kind of a strong and powerful female character, and I really like what they've done with her in this animation, and I'd like to see more of her actually. I was really enjoyed her performance. And she's voiced by Lily Tomlin, who does a great job as well. But like I said, Gwen Stacy's my favourite character, and I got a lot out of that character, and I want to see a lot more of her. And I think she's a very fascinating and unique addition to the Spider-Man world. And I want to see much more of her, and I hope there's comics of her as well, because I think what they've done with her is brilliant. Final verdict. Look, if you like animation, you like the Spider-Man films, or are interested in the Spider-Man comics, or you enjoy just a fun and entertaining film, you quite get a lot out of this, I think. I don't know if a lot of adults will enjoy it, but it does have there is a lot of adult content in it, as well as kids stuff. So it's really a good film for all the family. You're able to take your kids there and enjoy it yourself, as well as they are able to enjoy it as well. I'm going to give Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 4 out of 5. I enjoyed myself here. It was fun. I enjoyed the aspects that are able to show and the different things they're able to try, and I thought it was a very entertaining and fun film, and I'd like to see much more. Like I said, like I'd love to see a Gwen Stacy spin-off film, as well as noir Spider-Man as well. I think they're both interesting and fascinating characters, and I want to see a lot more of that. There's also another character called Penny Parker. She's from China, I think, and her abilities lie within this robot that she has, that her father is inside this spider that is controlling it, and that's sort of her abilities and her things. She's very smart and very quick and intelligent, and is able to do electronics and build things and a variety of very fascinating and interesting things, and she's quite an interesting character as well. Anyway, that's all from me today. I hope you enjoy this video. Thanks for watching. If you do enjoy this, please look me up on Facebook, as well as subscribe to this channel. Otherwise, until next time, enjoy the movies.